At the end of July, while many were still enjoying their holidays, a devastating double disaster engulfed China. Typhoon number 8, named Comay, battered Shanghai and Zhejiang, while in the north, the capital Beijing endured a historic flood that sent hundreds of thousands fleeing in panic. Two calamities, unfolding within days, turned millions of lives into hostages of nature's fury. On the afternoon of July 30th, at 4:40 p.m., the eye of Typhoon Comay officially made landfall along Fengxian's coast in Shanghai. Although classified as a tropical storm, its destructive power exceeded all forecasts. Winds near the center roared at force 12, driving ocean waves up to 6 meters high. In an instant, landmarks once familiar in this glamorous city, from the Bund and the Jianpu Road Bridge to the Suzhou River, were swallowed by muddy waters. The engraved characters on the iconic bridge disappeared beneath the rising river, sending chills down the spines of residents. Shanghai had never witnessed such a scene. One day earlier, ominous forecasts had prompted coastal districts like Chongming to urgently evacuate tens of thousands of households. Yet no one expected the storm to accelerate and intensify so rapidly. By the early morning of July 30th, evacuation orders expanded across the city. More than 280,000 people, equivalent to a mid-sized city's population, were rushed to 1,900 emergency shelters. The elderly and children were carried. The sick were stretchered out of danger amid blaring sirens and howling winds. Within 6 short hours, rainfall in Shanghai reached 200 millimeters, equaling an entire month's average. Busy streets turned into rivers. Ferry services were suspended. Nearly 640 flights canceled. Beyond Shanghai, neighboring Zhejiang province became another fierce battleground. Ningbo, Wenzhou, Hangzhou, and Zhoushan were all hammered by winds reaching 83 kilometers per hour. In Zhoushan especially, the storm slammed directly into the coast, forcing authorities to mobilize thousands of power workers to inspect and reinforce transmission lines amid torrential rain. Over 1,300 emergency repair teams and 18,000 personnel were deployed to protect the province's power grid, the backbone of daily life. In rural areas, surreal scenes unfolded. Power poles snapped underwater, rooftops were torn away, concrete roads collapsed and were washed downstream. To maintain communications, rescue teams resorted to drones for aerial monitoring. Deployed across isolated islands, highlighting the urgency and severity unprecedented for local authorities. From upstream roared downhill, transforming valleys and small creeks into violent torrents sweeping away everything in their path. Preliminary reports by noon on August 1st stunned the nation. 44 dead, 9 missing. In Miyun district alone, 37 fatalities. Considered safe, thus excluded from early evacuation. Yet in reality, this complacency turned the nursing home, meant as a place of refuge, into a deadly trap. Nearby residents recounted, "We only heard the roaring sound of water rushing down from the mountains. There was no time to react. When we looked again, the entire road to the nursing home had vanished beneath water, mud, and debris." Miyun was not alone. Other districts, Huairu, Pinggu, Yangqing, also lay submerged. A total of 162 villages and more than 31,000 homes were damaged. Nearly 7,000 vehicles destroyed. 10 major roads washed away. Particularly devastating, 684 telecom stations collapsed, crippling communications and hampering rescue coordination. International media questioned the transparency of official data, with many residents insisting the real death toll might be far higher than reported. Amid the chaos, haunting images from Beijing flooded social media. Residents wading chest-deep through mud, clutching what little belongings they had left, searching desperately for missing relatives. Yet given the scale of destruction, rescue efforts felt like a drop in the ocean. Millions remain in limbo, unsure when they can return home, uncertain whether the next storm brewing offshore will strike even harder. The story of Typhoon Comay and Beijing's flood is a brutal reminder. Against nature's wrath, even the most modern societies are fragile. One night of rain can erase everything, from skyscrapers to peaceful memories in the blink of an eye.